Dear students, in our last discussion, we have completed up to the working of a heart we have discussed, and little bit we have started cardiac cycle also. Today once more let us say about this very word cardiac cycle, and then we'll go into blood pressure, how to measure blood pressure. All these things in details we'll discuss as much as we can. One sequence of the filling of the heart with blood and its pumping is called the cardiac cycle. The phase of contraction of the ventricle is called systole, and its relaxation phase is called diastole. Now, blood pressure. Very often we hear this word blood pressure, and sometime or the other we remain worried about the present condition of our blood pressure. Now, let us see what does this term blood pressure mean. As blood flows, it exerts a force on the walls of the blood vessels. This is much greater in the arteries than in the veins. The pressure of flow of blood in the aorta and its main branches is defined as blood pressure. The heart has to develop a high pressure so that the blood can be pumped through arteries, capillaries and veins. During the ventricular contraction or systolic phase, it is equal to that exerted by the column of 120 mm of mercury. During the ventricular relaxation or diastolic phase, it is about 80 mm Hg. I am once more repeating. During the ventricular contraction or systolic phase, it is equal to that exerted by a column of 120 mm of mercury. And during the ventricular relaxation or diastolic phase, it is about 80 mm Hg. Thus, the normal blood pressure is said to be 120 by 80. So you can now understand 120 by 80 means what. However, the blood pressure varies from person to person and is affected by age, sex, heredity, physical and emotional states and many other factors. So, take it as a fact that according to the age, either we are young or old. According to the sex, means whether we are a boy or a girl. According to heredity, there are certain trend of heredity, or physical and emotional state can also come into the stage in order to determine blood pressure, and many more other factors are there which determine this blood pressure. An instrument called sphygmomanometer is used to measure blood pressure. The word sphygmomanometer is quite long enough. Please try to note the spelling of this sphygmomanometer. S P Hygmomanometer, sphygmomanometer, is used to measure blood pressure. Abnormally high blood pressure is also termed as hypertension. It may be associated with a disease or may occur due to anxiety. Yes, in our daily life, we are holding lots of anxieties regarding our daily life, various work that we are supposed to do, and due to that anxiety, hypertension may occur. It may also occur for some other causes also, but anxiety is one of the major cause. During hypertension, the arterioles get constricted. It constricts and increase the resistance to blood flow. It is a very easy fact to understand. If we are constricting a lumen of a pipe, a tubular pipe, then automatically the liquid which is supposed to flow through that tubular structure, that liquid is getting every resistance in its flow. Here also the same thing happens. Due to hypertension, the arterioles are constricting, and as a result there is an increased resistance to the blood flow. Now, high blood pressure can cause the rupture of the blood vessel. Since the pressure of blood is increasing, there should be a limit up to which the blood vessel can tolerate that pressure. Beyond that, the rupture of blood vessel can take place, due to which internal bleeding or stroke can happen. If a blood vessel is ruptured in the brain, that part does not get blood, oxygen and nutrients, and loses its function. So the internal hemorrhage in the brain can also take place, which can become too much fatal for any person, for any patient. So this is about the blood pressure. The heart, which squeezes or contract to pump the blood into arteries, due to this, then it relaxes to let the blood flow into it from the veins. This contraction and relaxation is also called heartbeat. Once more I am telling, the heart squeezes or contract to pump blood into the arteries. Then it relaxes to let the blood flow into it from the veins. This contraction and relaxation is called heartbeat. When a doctor puts a stethoscope on a patient's chest, he can hear the sound of the heartbeat. Every time the heart contracts, the blood rushes into arteries, making them throb. So, in this way, making them throb. So, in this way, we can feel this throbbing at the wrist, throat, and the temples. This is what doctors feel when they check our pulse. Since the arteries throb with the rush of the blood every time the heart contracts, the pulse rate is the same as the rate at which the heart beats. Normally, this is around 72 times per minute. However, when we exercise or we become angry or excited due to any reason or becoming very happy, the rate goes up. It also goes up in the case of fever. Now, let us do one activity. Let us look carefully at the inside of our left wrist. You might be able to see the artery throb. Place the middle and index finger of your right hand on your left wrist. Can you feel your artery throb? Yes, you can feel. Just count the number of throbs in 1 minute. Then feel your pulse again after jogging or running up a flight of stairs. Does your pulse rate increase? Yes, it increases. Do you want to hear your heartbeat? You can do so with the help of a simple stethoscope which you can make in your home. Just fix the stem of a funnel into one end of a length of rubber tube. Just see that the stem of the funnel fits snugly. Place the funnel on your chest and the open end of the tube should be in your ear. Now can you hear your heartbeat? You can move the funnel around on your chest to see where the sound is maximum, where the sound is the loudest. I think you can stretch a thin sheet of rubber or a balloon across the mouth of the funnel and see what happens to the sound. So dear students, in this way we can try to perceive, to understand our heart throb. The last part of this circulatory system is the lymphatic system. Lymph is another type of fluid that takes part in transportation. Blood containing oxygen and food flows under tremendous pressure in the arteries, which divides into arterioles and eventually into capillaries. When the blood from an arteriole enters a capillary, it is under so much pressure and the capillary walls are so thin that a clear liquid is forced out of the capillary walls into the spaces between the surrounding cells. This liquid is called tissue fluid. So tissue fluid carries with it oxygen, food and other useful substances to the cells. It also takes away carbon dioxide, CO2 and waste products from the cells. If tissue fluid were to accumulate in the tissues and organs, it would cause swelling. So, it is returned to the blood stream through another system of vessels called the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system consists of lymph vessels and lymph nodes. Again I am repeating, the lymphatic system consists of lymph, lymph vessel and lymph node. Now most of the tissue fluid drains into lymph vessels and flows as lymph. Lymph is more or less similar to blood except that it does not have RBC and platelets and has a lesser amount of proteins. Therefore, lymph is colorless. As because you can understand very well, it lacks RBC, that means it lacks hemoglobin, so automatically the red color is missing. It can be slightly yellowish and is similar to blood plasma. The lymphatic system maintains the balance between tissue fluid and blood. Lymph carries digested fat from the intestine and drains excess fluid from the intercellular spaces back into the blood. Before lymph enters the blood, it passes through a number of lymph nodes. These are very small globular masses of lymphatic tissues. Lymph node produces WBC that prevents infection. So this is very important function. I am again once more repeating, lymph node produces WBC that prevent infection. So up to now, today we have started our discussion from cardiac cycle, where we have discussed about this cardiac cycle. Next, we have explained systolic and diastolic phase. We also have discussed about blood pressure. In order to measure this blood pressure, we are using a device called sphygmomanometer. That also I said. Spelling, once more I am telling, SPHYGMOMANOMETER. Sphygmomanometer. Okay, I said about the normal blood pressure, that is 120/80 means what, that also I have discussed. I have discussed about hypertension, what are the causes of hypertension, that also I have discussed. I have discussed about the pulse rate, the so-called pulse which we measure. I discussed about heartbeat and the stethoscope which is used by the doctor. For what purpose? I have discussed that. And finally, I have given you some suggestion regarding how can we measure our pulse by some homemade stethoscope like devices and some heart throb also from these devices. So finally, we have discussed about the lymphatic system, the various function of lymphatic system, the various parts which makes a lymphatic system, that is lymph, lymph vessels, lymph node. These also I have discussed. So this is the end of this very your circulation part. In the next part, we'll discuss the last part of this very chapter, that is removal of waste, or that is excretion. So we'll meet in the next very part. Till then, goodbye.